Alright, so hello and welcome to another 10v10 game. This one is gonna be another post-game commentary because again I wasn't recording back when I played. You can see this nice skill of this absolutely abysmal unit. Anyways, playing 11th going on the left side of factory here. Starting with double para SAS, Special Forces Recon, 50 cal Milan 280 GM, triple self-propelled mortar Pamela AA, and here we have double Paramistral. This is a CV, right? Infantry CV, and there should be three spots of Legionnaires Paras. So gonna be rushing into Juliet. VLRA mortars are gonna be providing smoke cover for the push. I opted for this pretty aggressive opener here because I'm playing 11th. Suffers from the same problem as 82nd. Basically, the fact that if you leave the forest, you're just gonna lose. It's a fairly weak division. Absolutely no reason to pick them, so it is what it is. Mirage F1C is gonna be taking out the Semi-2, preventing the infantry from unloading. Does get hit once by MiG-31B, but the opponent does make mistake of evacuating his aircraft and not getting the kill. We have a Super Puma with airmobiles, airdropping infantry far in the corner here, trying to the plan with these guys was to basically cut off, push down this way and set them up in this position and cut off this reinforcements road. Here, so MI8s are going to be messing up my 50 cal. I didn't realize this was happening because I was microing this, trying to sell these B4s and trucks and moving stuff. So this happened, right? 50 cal died. Double MI8 with the rockets, yeah, very, very nasty. Pamela gets shot at, loses half HP, somehow lives, not sure how that happened. And another Mirage F1C is going to be purchased to try and deal with this helicopter. Luckily, Mistrals managed to do the job beforehand, so it was kind of dangerous, simply because I wasn't microing this guy. So there was a risk of him dying to all of these ASFs, right? In the meantime, Legionnaires are pushing, intercepting enemy reinforcements, gonna be blowing them up in their transports, which is pretty significant. MI8s again going down. On this side, airmobiles have unloaded, but I failed to micro them, and the Gazelle Celtic with the Mistrals is gonna be shooting down another infantry squad in the MI2. So pretty huge. I think this was also blown up in the transport, yes, in fact. So pretty good progress, right? We're going pretty well. The fact that we actually managed to get in here was a big success, let alone push deep into the sector, right? So sadly, I don't have anti-tank on these para SAS. It's a kind of an engineer unit. Special forces, right? Because they have satchels and stuff. Very good at fighting infantry, but SPW is gonna kill them. Gazelle Celtic is gonna be missing twice. This infantry is gonna keep pushing. That's the reason why I'm bringing another Mirage F1C. I mean another again, right? To deal with this. Luckily, teammates Stingers are gonna be doing the job. Not sure which division this guy is playing. The third US Armor. Oh, that's interesting, really. I like how he opted for aircraft troopers because that's the beefiest squad the 3rd Armor gets. So he was going to full support for me. Here we have a Pantheon playing the 5E. He's going to be a significant guy later on. So at the moment, just trying to kind of resupply these para SAS because again they are special forces. You don't want to lose them, really. Mortars just chilling in the back. There's no need to actually drop any smoke now. This is still contested because I still have to find the CV, right? In the meantime, I think we just completely gave up on this sector and everyone focused on supporting me here. So double Grud, I believe. Yes, just gonna be hitting this position. I don't think anything actually died, dude. This was a bit rough because this is a sniper. Paramistral has 2 men. It's a 2-man team. They will die easily to this sniper with the SVD, right? But the Legionnaires are there, and they're going to be making a short work of these. They're also triple upvetted because they're next to the para command thing, right? Here, VLRA 50 going to be engaging another sniper. The fact is, this guy can really mess them up because again, this is a two-man team, and this guy has a 50 cal, so you know. Infantry, special forces engaging from the cover against infantry from, I mean, not in the cover, right? Will win eventually. There's a command unit. He does smoke them, but you know he has nowhere to run really, except leave the sector. So in the meantime, some more supplies arriving. Airmobiles are going to be arriving to reinforce this position, right? Gazelle Celtic is waiting to get resupplied, but again, I'm kind of microing this side, so I'm not paying attention here. Right? It's happening, finally. Fallschirmjäger Metis, pretty nasty squad, because they are special forces. East German Fallschirmjägers are considered special forces in this game, whereas you cannot say that for like West German ones. Not sure why that's the case, but it will be like that. Milan 2, trying to stop these SPWs, and then there's a VBL with the Milan to both provide optics for the other ATGMs and do the ATGMing itself, right? For SAS, go down to this Wachschützen with the RPO, because RPO is a pretty nasty napalm launcher, right? Bomber was shut down, but it did drop the payload, 2 bombs, but again, I mean, they're gonna be obliterating the Legionnaires. Here, we have a little infantry engagement. Modschützen are regular line infantry against para-SAS, which are special forces engineers, recon. So, supported by triple upvetted Legionnaires paras, they're gonna just mess this up, really. ATGMs, again, getting free kills in these positions. There's actually also teammates ATGMing here, yeah. So, some more reinforcements coming down this direction, basically to provide AA for these guys. I was hoping, just rotate a little bit, I was hoping the airmobiles are gonna be running into some vehicles, like this, basically, to intercept them, blow them up with Apilast. This is basically the worst possible thing I could run into, because they got the flamethrower, right? So they're gonna be messing up my cohesion and forcing me to actually move, being unable to fire the Apilas. But we did manage to take out one of the Conqueror's launchers. This is funny, I mean, because I was busy resupplying everything, these Legionnaires died, so I was kind of left naked here. In the meantime, I was investing in here, as you can see. I was hoping I could rotate and preserve these squads, but then again, I mean, luckily there was a Surblinde in here, so that's great. Also great that this guy provided me with a Rolex 3, as you can see, pretty significant. This is the thing that actually shut down the bomber. Here, my plan is failing, because, well, that's great with Apilas kit, but there's a bunch of infantry, and like airmobiles are decent, but they cannot win against this much infantry, right? Let alone infantry with the flamethrowers. So another Milan to another 50 cal brought here to actually boost the defenses. Sagaya Recon was purchased to try and like push in this direction, you know, do some damage here. And the P4 Milan to actually boost the defenses of this position even further. I do manage to luckily save my airmobiles, right, in time, and I do have this Puma Kangaroo to resupply them eventually. It's just, I think my command tank died, yes, somewhere in here, but luckily the teammate had this fire team leader command squad. Also, this was a bomber, I think, or not. Well, that was interesting. Luckily, again, my 5e friend is having a bunch of Roland trees in the area. And now we have 5e commandos landing and joining forces with us. Pretty thematic, I have to say, you know, the French Airborne Division rushing in, capping positions, and then French Armor Division reinforcing them was nice to see. In the meantime, this side is struggling, but we are capping positions in the middle, and this is their backline sector, so we are at +2 here. So this was kind of unfortunate. These guys are not in the cover. That's another mistake. They are a close range infantry squad. These guys, I mean, they're in the cover. That's the reason why they are winning. Milan 2 is gonna be going down to these T-55s on this range. These guys do have Oculus, but they have low cohesion and low HP, so I preferred to actually just sacrifice the Milan in order to resupply these guys. Plan with this and the ATGM that just died was to just set them up in this position and then have anti-infantry, anti-A, and anti-tank like the same position, preventing them from entering this area completely. Double Apache provided significant air support to my legionnaires. That's the reason why the sector is clear now. T-55 is again coming in. Apilas is a no joke. One of the best, if not the best anti-tank launcher, really. Yeah, this guy was stunned, no cohesion. So I was able to escape, I think. I'm pretty sure they lived, yes. So, more legionnaires arriving. Mortars have been moved. Gazelle Celtic resupplied, covering in the area, defending from any potential enemy helicopters or aircraft. Here, these guys will actually lose this engagement, I think, if they're not supported, but we have more legionnaires coming in, and also the beefy commando squads of the 5e joining forces. So, two more airmobiles in the Super Puma arriving here to boost this, blow up some tanks. Legionnaires getting caught by the BMP. That's the reason why I started smoking immediately, to provide some smoke screen here. Push across this road, clear this out, eventually blow up that BMP with the Oculus. Right, that was the plan. These Legionnaires, I'm not sure what happened with them. They're going to be pushing this direction, I assume. And we have more para-SAS for recon and to clear out the forest from enemy flamethrower infantry. Because enemies have flamethrower, right? But the para-SAS do have 3 smoke grenades and a satchel. So what you can do basically is once they start shooting flamethrowers, you just smoke in front of your guys and then rush through the smoke, close in the range into 150 meters, and hit them with the satchel. And then they're gonna get stunned and die. Because I mean, satchels are pretty OP. You just need to somehow get into the range, right? So this is all just chilling. This guy will eventually be moved up. This was kind of concerning. I noticed this tank. I was just, I was too lazy to micro these, hoping he's gonna go like this way, not into them. The Legionnaires are gonna be winning this, but again, it's a flamethrower, so they're gonna be getting stunned and forced to move. That's why flamethrowers are so nasty to fight with infantry. ATGM Apache not having the greatest time in the meantime. Yeah, he's gonna be missing that, but he's alive, so These guys don't have rockets, the Hydra rockets, but they do have the 30 mil still, more than able to mess up any enemy infantry and stuff. So, bunch of Legionnaires, right? I'm at this point bringing, I think, the Super Puma. Yes, the Puma Kangaroo, sorry. For the supply to basically resupply these VLRA trucks and keep all of this going. Sadly, I think these are going to be dying, or something is going to be dying. And what's nice about these para-SAS is the fact that you can just save them with the smoke like this. Mi-8 with the rockets, pretty nasty for this situation, but again, abundance of Mistrals and Rolands and everything. There's gonna be another L39ZO. I did send the Mirage F1C and he fired 2 missiles. This guy didn't even get the 4 CVAC. He did manage to drop the bombs. He was shot down, but he did delete another Legionnaire's Paras. My Mirage 1FC just barely made it home, right? Well, that's happening. Another command unit and Legionnaire's Paras are gonna be arriving. This was a mistake not moving these mortars, by the way, and luckily they all lived. Puma Hat was purchased because recon plus electronic warfare helicopter, it does cancel the artillery correction in this range, so you have a bit less chance of losing your stuff, right, when you have something like that. Also, 3 more mortars and another Gazelle Celtic moving in. Apache is this time with the rocket, trying to provide support, but then one gets hit into the face and, crashes. I think that was a Cub or something, maybe even a Krug, considering the how hard it hit, right? So here they're trying to RT my mortars again, missing, because they're hitting the same position, right? Airmobiles have secured this area. Legionnaires, I mean, they do have Apilas, though this is all just easy targets for them, right? Yes. Pretty good against vehicles. It's just, you will suffer against spots like this, and this maybe, because tactical, right? So I do end up taking some losses here, eventually, but, I mean, there is more coming, so it is what it is. +8 now, because teammates on the other side kind of managed to take over. And you can see there's like abundance of infantry that enemy is bringing, right? Commandos are nicely holding this flank. There's the Grad coming in now, or the RM-70, whatever. Still suffering some heavy casualties. VLRAs going to be pushing with the 50 cals, because I realized already these guys don't have anti-tank. They can still damage the VLRA, but 250 cals are going to win against this, right? And airmobiles, and buffed by the command units, plus legionnaires, are going to be trying to clear in this direction. Going to secure this. Again, bombing run by the teammate, cluster bombs being dropped in high explosive F-111s. I think not the greatest aircraft, but they did the job in this one, right? I mean, there is pretty much nothing left in this area. And with that, it's gonna be 6 seconds till the game ends. I rushed these VLRAs 50 calls to try and take out the Cubs. Sadly, there's this SPW Conquerors in the area, so that didn't go quite as planned. But doesn't really matter, right? When it comes to kills, I think when I played this division in the last game, I mentioned how good these Legionnaire Paras squads are. I said they are a bit overpriced, which I still think they are. This division in general, I think I covered the division back then. I can do it now with some, cover some aspects of them, but I will be uploading them to the channel so you can take a look yourself. Let me just find them quickly. All right, so Legionnaires Paras, pretty good, 10-man squad. Not sure why Eugene made every French infantry squad a 10-man, except engineers, right? When you go to the 5e and check their infantry, they are also 10-man, 10-man squads. Commandos are also 10-man. Wow, man. Interesting. So pretty beefy, French infantry is pretty good. And then these guys are not special forces, but they get the resolute trait, which means they are highly moralized and indoctrinated. Yeah. These 50 cals and these things are basically for the defense. 4 command units in the infantry tab, plus these guys, because, I mean, this is really not worth bringing, in my opinion, so you gotta have 6, right? And then artillery tab is only mortars, 81 mils. They are upfatted by default, so why not have 8 mortars? If you make a mistake and you lose 3 of them, like I did, I almost lost them, right? You can just bring another card of them and have mortars. Or you can just have 8 mortars and have, like, basically effect of some mini-grad or something. Because they fire quickly, right? French mortars are very good. Both these and 5e ones, the VAPs. This here, I mean, this is really not great. This is like trying to be a Mech 10 RC, but it's not. It's just bad, really, with 55% accuracy, 90 mil. Isn't gonna do much. Does have smoke to save itself, but will die to anything that even looks at it. And then P4 Milan instead of this thing. I noticed these. I mean, some guys bring this thing. Because it has 8, this guy has 480 gems. Thing is, this guy has mediocre stealth, whereas this guy has good. They both have only 1 launcher, so it's not like this guy's gonna be shooting faster than this one. They fire at the same speed. It's just this guy is gonna remain hidden when he fires, where this guy will be revealed in most cases. So just take the P4 really. And I think they're both forward deployed, yes. And then in recon, so as I said, I run two cards of these para SAS because it's an 8-man with two machine guns, six assault rifles, and you get the satchel smoke to save them. They also provide very good optics, exceptional stealth, very versatile unit, except you cannot defend yourself against tanks. I used to run this back in the days of early access. It's just not worth compared to these guys. It's cheaper, like I mean, they're 35 points plus 55 points basically, but it's a two-man squad. You don't want them to fight, and just not worth. I used to run this thing on 5e, I think. And what I would do, because I saw this video on the YouTube. There's a guy, or forgot the name, but he made a video how he plays 5e as the French military would do it, basically. So he grouped VBL Milan and VBL Recon plus AMX-10 RCs and sent them in those kind of compositions on the flanks, and he gave them like one gazelle with the HOTS to each of these like compositions, and he would just flank the enemy hard. But it's fun to do sometimes stuff like that. This guy just don't see it use anymore. I would much rather have some more infantry, strong infantry, especially in 5e, which is considered armored division. And then this guy, because very good optics and electronic warfare jammer, right? So AA, Mistral, best manpad in the game, truck with the best manpad in the game, and then helicopter with the best manpad in the game. It's pretty simple AA tab. No long range. Here, instead of Gazelle Cannon, which if you double up with them, you get 75% accuracy on the 20 mil, which shreds. But this is the only division I think that gets Puma Pirate. I think it's the same cannon, yes. So it's the same here, really. You might as well actually just do this. Or just, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna leave it like this. It's good for far supporting infantry and stuff. And then Hot 2, very good missile. I always bring these gazelles at double up vetted, because 73% on a 24 pen anti-tank missile is very, very worth. This guy, if you want availability, this guy is gonna die in like one hit from every unit in the game, basically. So no ECM, has 4 HP. What can you say? Glass cannon. Definition of glass cannon, really. He will mess up everything armored, but he will die very quickly. No long range AA here, but then here you get the Mirage 2000 RDE, right? And not the greatest long range fighter in the game, but this and the TKS are the only division that got it, so it is what it is. And then this guy from the 5e, very familiar to me, did his job in this one. I don't think I lost any one of these guys. And then, pretty strong gear tab, because when you're playing Airborne division, you kind of... This is dog shit. This is good, right? Artillery is dog shit, so... Don't get the fob. So you have to compensate somewhere, and then you give them basically a bunch of aircraft slots and a bunch of versatile aircraft to actually mercilessly bomb the enemy until the end of the game, right? Anyways, was fun rushing them with the French Paris. I'm gonna be posting the deck on the channel, and until then, GG's, and as always, well played everyone.